Welcome to the Cutmaker Podcast, your home for all of your PGA gambling action. My name is Jeff Seeley, aka Indie Jeff or Cutmaker Jeff, and this week we will be talking about the Sony Open at Wailea Country Club in Hawaii here. Going to be a fun tournament. It's one of these that I think a lot of different people can win. I was looking at some of the odds of some of the historical winners, and we've had 50 to 1 win, 18 to 1, 65, 50, and 40 to 1 pre-tournament winners here over the past 5 years. So going to be really interesting. Short course, you guys have all heard me say a million times. If it's a short course, play Webb Simpson. I don't think we're going to be going down that track this week, but it is about a 7,000 yard par 70, very short course. Just really going to be looking at approach and guys who could make 10 to 15 foot putts. Pretty straightforward. Quick look at the market. Aubert opened as the lowest odds on the board and then drifted back up to about 18 to 1. Other guys we see at 18 to 1, Tyrrell Hatton, Matt Fitzpatrick, Aubert, as I mentioned, is there. And then you've got Henley, Harmon, Connors, and then a group of Chris Kirk, who won last week, Eric Cole, then JT Postman, Thigala, Benon, Siwoo Kim, who just won here. What a crazy tournament that was. I had Buckley, and Siwoo Kim chipped in and ran him down last year. Justin Rose, Harris English, whose prices dropped like a rock, Denny McCarthy, and then Cam Davis and some others. So as I look at this tournament, I think when I look at it from a betting perspective, I mean, Aubert is really good, and he had a bad week last week. Putted horribly last week. He lost 3.5 strokes putting last week, but prior to that, his putter had been on fire. I think we'll probably see a bounce back from him with the putter this week, and his approach game is really top notch. I think we're going to see Aubert win at least one tournament this year. It would not surprise me if he wins 2. I bet him early to win the Waste Management at 40 to 1. I think he's down to 20 to 1. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty incredible. Top 20 certainly in approach. And then when you look at 10-foot putts or so, he's also up there in top 10. So approach, putting on Bermuda, all things that Aubert does well. So of guys who are in that price range, he's probably my favorite. And then that would be the super low. I do like Eric Cole a lot this week. There's a lot to like about Cole. I think Corey Connors is going to be a very, very heavily bet and very popular in DFS from this range, but I'm going to fade Corey Connors and go all in on Cole here. I'm going to play top 20. You can find like plus 140, plus 150. Play that for a full unit. Top 10 for plus 300 for half a unit. Top 5 plus 600 for a quarter unit. And then, winner for a tenth of a unit or so. Give us about a 7-unit win if he wins. We're risking less than 2. He's the best approach player over the last 24 rounds. He's 12th in putting from 10 to 20 feet and is 13th on Bermuda Green. So a lot to like about Eric Cole here. He was solid last week again, finishing 14th despite losing 3 strokes off the tee. If any of you guys watched, like Max Homa hit like a 475-yard drive last week. So, I mean, it really, he was behind the 8 ball a little bit there. Still finished well, 14th. I don't see him losing that 3 strokes off the tee again this week, simply because a lot of guys aren't even going to be hitting driver on a lot of these holes. So Cole has top 5s in 4 of his last 6 events. That's crazy. I expect another top 5 this week. I won't be the least bit surprised if he wins. Really, really like Cole this week a lot. Another guy in this range who's actually 30 to 1 and is higher odds than Cole and higher odds than a lot of guys that, frankly, I think he's better than, is Sahith Thigala, who finished second last week. Guys, I just don't think Thigala is getting anywhere near the recognition that he deserves. So in his last 50 events, Thigala has 7 top 20s, 4 top 10s, 8 top fives in a win. That is the same percentage of top 20s as Justin Thomas, and the same number of same percentage of top fives as Justin Thomas, and the same number of top fives as Colin Morikawa. Yet, he's does not get anywhere near the recognition that those guys do. Last week, the Gala finished second, as I mentioned, gaining almost 3 strokes on approach and 4 strokes putting. He has gained 4 or more strokes putting in 8 of his last 15 events. So in over half of his last 15 events, he's gained 4 strokes putting, and he is gaining a stroke on the field per round. He's just averaging getting a stroke on the field per round. It's unbelievable. Really interesting stat I saw is his birdie conversion rate is actually 5% higher than tour average, but his 3-putt percentage inside 25 feet is less than a third of the tour average. The guy doesn't 3-putt. If you're going to make a bogey, it's because he's going to hit a wayward drive or something along those lines. His irons are dialed in. His putter is elite right now. And Theegala top 20 at plus 170 feels like an absolute gift. I'm playing him the exact same way I'm playing Cole, as I mentioned, with the 20, 10, 5, and then win breakdown there. Another guy I like this week whose price has dropped like a rock. I bet him when it first came out at 60. He's down to 40. That's Adam Svensson. He's solid off the tee. Approach game's been sharp. His putter can get hot. He's gained 2 or more strokes putting in 4 of his last 10 events. The form's there. He's finished inside the top 26 in 5 of his last events. So I like Svensson there. I don't know that he'll win this week, but I do like top 20 at 2 to 1 a lot. I will throw a few bucks on the top 10 and on the outright, but really like Svensson and a top 20 play at 2 to 1 or so. So, and I'm just going to kind of go through DraftKings pricing and outrights a little bit and kind of talk about guys I'm going to play and fade. I mentioned Aubert. I still think I think he's a great DFS play this week because I think he will be unowned after last week and being the most expensive guy. I'm probably going to pass on Hatton and Fitzpatrick. Just not, they're fine. It's just not for me right now. I mentioned Theegala. I think he's tremendous. It'd be interesting to try to build an Aubert Theegala lineup. I think that would be very difficult, but unique. Brian Harman can always get there, but I'm not going to bet him or play him this week. Corey Connors, I think, is going to be super popular. Corey Connors could finish top 20, but he just doesn't putt well enough for me to bet him to win. I think he's fine, but I prefer Cole in that same range. Russell Henley's, seen success here, so that's another guy. But he's okay. Chris Kirk played great last week. I don't know what to do with Will Zalatoris. I'm just going to wait. He's 50 to 1. He's 50 to 1 because he hasn't played golf, right? He played in the Hero World Challenge, was 11 over. That's horrendous. So I am not going to be on Willie Z at all in anything. I don't know too terribly many people that will. Let's see. Others of note here. Ben On played fantastic last week. I want to look at Ben On a little more here as I go to my DK salary. He's down here with Poston, who's I love again this week. Ben On, gosh, it's crazy. His putter was really good. His putter can get hot and just be absolutely horrible. BMW, he lost 7 shots putting. He gained 2.5 this week. The Wyndham, he gained almost 6 strokes putting. That's insane. Ben On is in low-key good form. 3 top 5s in his last 5 events is really good for Ben On. Obviously, the BMW was a while ago, but you like to see that. He's one of the social media favorites, so like to see Ben On doing good things. Other guys like JT Poston a lot. Some longer shot bomb guys. I'm interested in some. Actually, let me not jump down there yet. Hideki, pass. Siwoo won last year. Irons have not been good lately. Putter has not been good lately. I'm off on Siwoo. 35 to 1. No, just no chance. Cam Davis, no. McCarthy, obviously he's a good putter, but no, not for me. Harris English, this price has come down a lot. I know Jeff Sherman bet him at like 55 to 1. He's down 35 now. If you know me, you know I'm always a big Harris English guy. Yeah, I can get behind English here. He's fine. I don't like 35 to 1. I might look to maybe bet him live, or maybe play some matchups with Harris English. I'm gonna look at matchups here in a second. Rose, no. Jaegerbomb, meh. Keegan Bradley, no. You got to make putts. He's irons can be elite, but no. Hadwin, no. Alex Noren is interesting. Approach, putting, really puts well in Bermuda, really well in Bermuda. Yeah, I like some Alex Noren. Kuchar, no. Lucas Glover, dude. Man, this guy, his last week he gained 7.5 strokes tee to green, 5 strokes on approach. His irons are freaking fire. But he turned into Lucas Glover last week with the putter again. He lost 7 strokes putting. I don't know how he finished 19 under, losing 7 strokes putting. I would have figured he would have finished DFL. So, I guess kudos to Glover for not finishing DFL, but man, that putter, brutally tough scene. I mentioned Svensson. God, obviously I love Tom Hoagie all the time. Not going to play Hoagie this week, although I wouldn't be mad at you if you did. Luke List is actually neutral with his putter now, which is downright incredible. He gained strokes putting last week. Wasn't great off the tee, which is a little unusual. His irons have just been okay lately. God, Luke List putter is crazy. He's actually like putting well. Yeah, it's somebody to keep an eye on. If Luke List, his irons heat up, boy. If he's actually putting at all, he's gonna be a beast. Let's see who else we go down here. JJ Spawn looks good. He's interesting. Keith Mitchell, pass. Aaron Rye, interesting. Yeah, approach is pretty good. Not a great Bermuda putter. Interesting Rye, Grillo, pass. Billy Ho, hard pass. Justin Ben Griffin. God, Ben Griffin's Bermuda putting is really good. Really, really, really good. His approach has been okay. I don't really care about off the tee. Ben Griffin's worth a conversation. Patrick Rogers, no. All these guys in this kind of range, no. Nick Hardy, wow. His approach has been pretty good. Putting's neutral for 7,100 and 150 to 1. You could do a lot worse than Nick Hardy. I don't know what Gary Woodland has had success here. And his metric, he grades out well, but he had like brain surgery a couple of months ago. So I'm going to wait and see on Gary Woodland. Be interested to see if people will play him at all. Gosh, let me see who else is of interest down here. And the 6s. Oh, Vince Whaley's actually a guy who's going to be kind of interesting. Pretty good putter. Yeah, decent. I think he's a decent play at 6,900. The Gim Reaper, not a good Bermuda putter. I love the Gim Reaper, but man, he is not a good Bermuda putter. I don't know. You could do worse for this price range if you're playing DFS than the Gim Reaper. But God, Seamus Power's 6,900. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Davis Riley, no. Vince Whaley, yeah. Where's my guy Tyler Duncan? I call him Tim Duncan, but I like Duncan this week. Where did he go? Ryan Moore is approaching putting. I mean, that's Ryan Moore. Ryan Moore for 6,700. Yeah, Tyler Duncan, really good Bermuda putter lately. Irons haven't been great, but Tyler Duncan for 180 to 1 and 6,600. Indiana guy, I think somebody you can get behind. And that's probably as far down the board as I would play this week. I'm going to look at some matchups here real quick. Just the heck of it. And see if there's anybody who could like jump out. Okay, so like Abear Fitzpatrick. I prefer Abear to Fitzpatrick a lot. Of course, I bet him last week and it burned me, but I can see going back to this well at like Bet Online. You can get plus 100, close to that. So I don't mind Fitzpatrick, Abear over Fitzpatrick this week. Let me see who else. Harmon Hatton, Cole Henley. Wow, you can get Eric Cole at plus 125 against Russell Henley. And Russell Henley's good here, but I like Cole at plus 125 a lot in that matchup. Corey Connors against Chris Kirk. Chris Kirk's been really good here too. And that's pass for me. No. Let me see who else we have matched up here. Benyon Siwoo. Oof. Benyon even money against Siwoo, who is not in form. That is tempting. That's a Bet Online. Benyon against Poston. I can't fade Poston. Yeah. Rose against Kuchar. English 144 over Hideki. That's interesting. Svensson against Hadwin. Sign me up. Yes. That's a Bet Online. Svensson's minus 120. I am in on that for sure. Alex Noren, Jaegerbaum. I would take Alex Noren at plus money over Jaegerbaum. I like that. Glover Body. Let me look at something here. Let me see what, now I'm going to pass. God, if I had any faith in Glover's putter, I would take Glover in that matchup, but I don't. Luke List, Patrick Rogers. I would take Luke List. I didn't bet that on DraftKings. Even money on DraftKings, minus 110. I'm in. I like Luke List there. EVR, Kurt Kitayama. No, I liked EVR last week. I'm out on him this week. Billy Horschel against Willie Z. Whew. No, pass. Norman Hoagie. I think Norman actually might be a good bet at plus money against Hoagie. Anybody else jump out to me here? Webb Simpson at plus 115 against Alexander Bjork. I don't know what to think about that. Kim Reaper minus 115 against Michael Kim. Michael Kim's actually pretty good. Chris Kirk Poston. Yeah, that's tough. Those are pinnacles. So let's see. DraftKings, others we've got. Aubert at plus 100 against Brian Harman. Yes, please. I will bet that 100%. Brian Harman's been fantastic in the last year or so, but I will bet that for sure. I'll probably lose it, but I will bet that. Probably. I will probably bet that. Let's see. Fitzpatrick. I would bet Corey Connors over Fitzpatrick for sure. That's one I will play. Let's see. Henley over Hatton, probably. Jaegerbaum. I'll play Jaegerbaum over Nick Taylor. Chris Kirk bet on. That's 120. I'm tempted to take Chris Kirk there and just ride that wagon. I'll take Alex Noren plus 100 over Hadwin. Cole Poston. I like both these guys a lot. I'm going to pass. Svensson minus 120 over Glover. Yes, please. I'm in on that one. And Thigala minus 120 over Andrew Putnam. Yes, please. I'm in on that one. So there we go. A bunch of matchups. You guys get a pretty good sense of where I'm at this week. We'll obviously have guests as the year goes on, but just getting things fired up, getting the ball rolling on 2024. Hope everybody had a great new year. We will talk with you all next week. Make sure, again, you follow our Twitter at Cutmaker Pod. You can find me on our Twitter X, whatever it's called now, at Cutmaker Jeff. And then I will be on Follow the Money tomorrow morning and talking a little Sony again. And any questions, just hit me up on X, Twitter, whatever, and talk to you guys next week. Thanks, guys.